What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day we actually heard some information about Call of Duty 2027. Now, I know, we're just on Black Ops 6 and we're already going 2 years later down the road. Well, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, as you guys know already, a lot of these channels like to cover leaks, future information, and honestly, the way that this is sounding doesn't sound too bad, but I have a lot of mixed opinions and I would love to share them with you all, and obviously have some pretty fun discussions down in the comment section below. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post your daily at 8 on Eastern time. Everything between Call of Duty, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders, you best believe you'll hear it on this channel. And of course, as I always say, leave a like or leave a dislike, whatever you want to do, just to show a little support on this type of variety content if this is what you guys do enjoy. I'm still debating on if we should do variety or just stick to one game and one game only. So, if you do like this stuff, show a little love, and hopefully we can keep pushing with this style of content moving forward in the future. And of course, last but not least, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I will be streaming Helldivers 2 today over on Twitch. So if you guys are interested, you can find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and hop into the actual topic, I do want to mention this very quickly because I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm kind of impressed how Treyarch handled this recent, event that's in Black Ops 6. I did not play it myself personally, I didn't even know it was live. But I saw a post by the exclusive Ace saying, I may hate the general theme, but really like this style of event with specific challenges tying into the event itself, as well as a universal camo as a reward. I completely agree. This looks really solid here. Again, getting a final reward that is a universal camo that goes across the board to all weapons, just not something that's specific. And then, exclusive Ace didn't really like this one, but I think this camo looks pretty dope, and it's an animated camo finally. Seems like they are starting to slowly and surely give us a little bit more valuable content within the events, because literally for the first 3 seasons, honestly going into 4 seasons, until now, the events were garbage. I mean, I never really found a reason to put in any effort into grinding some of these events. But now it seems like, they're slowly and surely starting to give a bit more. Although it's not completely there yet, but I do appreciate this way more than the previous versions of the events, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this down in the comment section below. But of course, let's go ahead and dive on deep into the real details of Call of Duty 2027. As you guys know, Sledgehammer Games has really impressed me and has slowly become my favorite development team within the Call of Duty realm. And I feel like if there's any development team that can go ahead and give us something solid, it's more than likely them. I'm not even banking on, Sledgehammer coming to save Black Ops 7, because there's probably going to be a skeleton team from Sledgehammer working on that game, while the rest of them focus on their main title. So I'm not going to judge them there. I'm not going to go ahead and, worry about Modern Warfare 4, whatever Infinity Ward is trying to put together. It might be good, it might be bad, who knows, but overall, it seems like Infinity Ward has really lost the concept of what makes a Call of Duty game a Call of Duty game. So here we are with Sledgehammer Games, and, I think a lot of people are banking on them being the development team to save us from this rough cycle of Call of Duty. I've actually seen a lot of people on the internet saying that they're skipping all Call of Duty games until Sledgehammer comes back into play. And when they do, that is when they're going to put some focus back on the franchise again. That is how much Sledgehammer has shifted, the opinions of the whole overall crowd here within Call of Duty, with how they manage their games and how they interact with their community. It's wild. They have gone from the most hated development team to probably the most loved. And honestly, I think they deserve it. Again, I always hated them back in the day, but they have rightfully gained their spot as one of the best teams who work on this overall franchise. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we have some additional information that, again, further confirms my, hope and faith within Sledgehammer, but at the same time, leaves me with a little bit of worry. But this all comes from the Ghost of Hope, and he says, exclusive, COD 2027 by Sledgehammer Games will not be Advanced Warfare 2, and will instead be set in a completely new sub-franchise. Set during the modern era, no jetpacks, but movement is planned to be a big focus. Zombies is currently not planned for the game. Get High is planned to return, and there may be a focus on martial arts within the gameplay with karate kicks and karate chops as example. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do have one last thing to showcase to you guys, which I think is phenomenal, but I want to hold off just for a second to discuss what's going on within this post. Let me go ahead and focus on the things I'm a bit worried about before I dive deep into, why I really think Sledgehammer is still going to cook it up. First and foremost, the no jetpacks, but movement is still a big focus. I gotta be real. I hope Sledgehammer has the nuts to just say, screw this new era. let's go ahead and change up the flow, right? I feel like Infinity Ward and Treyarch are going to go ahead and continue with this new version of Call of Duty that is being built up here, but I feel like they should go ahead, remove tac sprint, make sure that the only way you have unlimited sprint is if you have a marathon perk or something of that sort, and bring back that classic flow. COD has always had movement, don't get me wrong, between jump shotting, drop shotting, all of the above, but I would love to see a return to classic form again. I know it's not going to be popular because with World War II, people complained about it until they overhauled it and added in limited sprint. And Modern Warfare 2 2022, people complained that they didn't have any slide canceling. Every single time they try to step back to that, usually people pinpoint it and say it's a horrible thing. But I think they should just say, screw what everybody thinks, and bring a classic feeling movement COD. I just think that would be 2 thumbs up from me. Then obviously zombies, is not currently planned. I think that's going to be a negative side to a lot of the zombies guys. Hopefully Treyarch can cook with Black Ops 7 to hold fans over past Modern Warfare 4 and COD 2027. We'll see. But I'm not really too much of a zombies guy. And to be completely honest with you guys, this is just a personal preference. I don't think it's going to destroy the game altogether, but I don't know. I think kind of having martial arts stuff like karate kicks and karate chops, it's a little corny for a COD game. I might just be an old head in the franchise, but I think, I'd much rather point and shoot and have my knife than karate chopping someone's neck. I don't know. It might be cool. Who knows? But it's not really up my lane. But when it comes down to everything else, like I said, yeah, those things are a little iffy, and I hope some things are reconsidered, I guess I should say. But the fact that it's going to be a modern era Sledgehammer title that is going to be set in a new sub-franchise is huge to me. And it just screams that Sledgehammer has nuts. They got the balls to actually branch out and try to do something special. And if you guys remember behind the scenes, the leaks from a while ago, Sledgehammer, they went to Activision and said they want time to put together their own game. And although we're hearing that Sledgehammer is working on BO7, as I stated before, it's probably just going to be a smallish team. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I hope they don't get screwed over on their own game. But it seems the leaks are still coming true that they are indeed going to be given the time to put together their own game. Not a DLC, not, some secondhand game like how BO7 is out and they have to work on that after BO6, or Modern Warfare 3 after Modern Warfare 2, they have to work on that. None of that noise. They get to work on their own title, and it's not going to be a freaking Modern Warfare game or a Black Ops title. Thank the heavens we don't have to deal with another one, and we get to see a bit of creativity when it comes to this franchise. And as usual, it's Sledgehammer to go ahead and do so. If you think back to it, World War II, Vanguard, they made Modern Warfare 3 obviously, but the majority of all their games are sub-franchises, right? That's what they do best. We haven't seen Infinity Ward do such a thing since Ghost. Sorry, Infinite Warfare. Boy, oh boy, I almost forgot that one. I feel like they're so scarred from Infinite Warfare that I don't think they would ever even consider making a COD game that doesn't have Modern Warfare on the box. And I think that Activision saw that and they refused to let Treyarch even consider such a thing, and we're going to have endless Black Ops games for life. So I'm very thankful that at least Sledgehammer has the nuts to be able to do something different and bring it into the franchise. It might not be good, who knows, it might be awful, but at least they're trying, and that's what counts, that's what matters. Also, the Get High mode I thought was phenomenal. That was the parkour style mode that they introduced within Modern Warfare 3 as a limited time event. It's basically going to be permanent now, and I like that. I think that that's their own special twist on things, and I really appreciate that they're going to go ahead and expand on that formula. But ladies and gentlemen, this last post is what's really getting me excited, because this is what Sledgehammer is all about, ladies and gentlemen. This is from the Ghost of Hope over on Twitter. Multiplayer focus, basically overall. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is what we need to hear, and this is why Modern Warfare 3 succeeded in my eyes. Again, although I got called a shill all year long with Modern Warfare 3, I said it time and time and time again. Modern Warfare 3 2023 was a game where they finally prioritized multiplayer over Warzone. Every game, Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2 2022, and then not Modern Warfare 3, but even Black Ops 6, guess what's prioritized? Warzone. Guess what's prioritized in the content drops? Warzone. Guess what's prioritized when it comes to actually fixing the game? Warzone. Warzone is always the main priority of COD now. And as a OG COD fan, it absolutely hurts. It hurts to see your core game mode that built the franchise up be neglected because another game mode swooped in and gained all the hype. Can I blame Activision? No, that's their moneymaker. But it still sucks to see. And Sledgehammer nailed it with Modern Warfare 3. Every single content drop was prioritized around multiplayer. Every single, patch notes, bug fixes, all that stuff, although Warzone, got its fair share, multiplayer was like straight up the bread and butter. Absolutely the bread and butter for Sledgehammer games. And they put a huge emphasis on that. I mean, Modern Warfare 3 was the game where you can log in weekly and get cool things, whether it's camos, aftermarket, you always had something to do in multiplayer in that game, to the point where all the Warzone crowd was complaining. And I know, it's rough. People gotta suffer sometimes. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this might come off rude. I didn't mind. I really genuinely did not mind that the Warzone crowd was hating and they were mad, because for the first time, multiplayer fans finally got to eat. And Sledgehammer made sure that we knew that. And people see that now after a year later when the skill-based matchmaking is toned down. They're actually revisiting it, and they can see that it is indeed that. It is a solid game, right? That was packed with love and content. If you go into Modern Warfare 3 now, the amount of crap that you can unlock and do is just absurd. Absolutely absurd. Now imagine being able to witness that from day one until the end of its life cycle and getting to experience that every single week. As I stated, there's always something to do. I hope Sledgehammer can save the day. Because if there's one thing that I know for sure, each Call of Duty game up to the Sledgehammer project is going to be heavily Warzone focused. I already know it's going to be. So if there was ever a better time for a multiplayer experience to come back into the frame, it'll be when Sledgehammer goes ahead and produces it. And I hope they can seriously make something solid here. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post your daily at 8 morning Eastern time. Call of Duty, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders. We're trying our hardest to do some variety around here. I've been having a blast, and hopefully you guys like it as well. Of course, if you have any feedback on that, leave it down below. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, if you guys are interested, you can link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next one. Peace out.